Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Before I start today's video, I just want to talk about some exciting stuff that's happening with BecauseiVan.com. You should definitely go and check it out. I have spent the better part of a week adding a bunch of stuff to the site to make it more interactive, and also I've come up with a couple of ways that I want to turn BecauseiVan into more of a community thing rather than just videos about me. Basically, I'm nearly at 2,000 subscribers as I'm making this video, and because I've had so much support from you guys, I wanted to put some of that support back out into the community and actually build something for you guys to share stuff as well. So if you go to the website, there is a new gallery section for you to check out my things like my van build from the day that I got the van until pretty much now. And there's another section called community. That's where the big stuff's going to happen, hopefully. There's 3 sections in there. There is a section for you guys to share your photos and your story. So if you want to, even if you don't have a channel or anything, you just want to send in a photo of your van or your tiny home or your RV or whatever it is that you're living in, and just a little paragraph about yourself. Send it to BecauseiVan@gmail.com and I'll put it on that section of the website. There is also a section there for up and coming YouTube channels or other fellow YouTube channels similar to this. You don't have to be a van channel. Again, it's just any kind of alternative living channel. And I'll share your channel on my website, and it's an opportunity to get your name out there if you're trying to get more viewers and more subscribers, and it's also an opportunity for all of us to kind of join together and be more of a community, like I said. So send through any channel links or anything like that. Either get in contact with me on YouTube or email me at BecauseiVan@gmail.com, and I'll help promote you guys because of all the support that I've had from you. I want to try and give some back. There's also a 3rd section on there where I have included all of the channels, or most of the channels that I could think of that inspired me when I was starting out. A lot of them I still watch to this day, so that's on there as well. So make sure you check it out. Make sure you get involved. If you're a viewer or a fan or something like that, then send through a picture of your setup and a little bit about yourself. And if you're another channel, then send through a link to your channel and I will try and help promote you. If you do send through a photo and a story or something like that, then if you've got Instagram or Facebook or any other social media accounts, send me the link and I'll include the link on the website as well. So that's it for the website off the top of my head as far as I can think of right now. But yeah, I'm trying to build something more than just me here. So if you guys help me and you get involved, then it can be about you too. So for today's video, I've decided to talk to you about propane and how to use it safely, certainly in my opinion, because it's one of those things that's really important and really handy to have, but there is definitely some risk involved. And I have seen recently a couple of cases of people's propane cylinders exploding and things like that in the back of their van. So yeah, I'm going to talk to you about that. Most of you will have already seen my setup in the past. I have made a couple of little changes to it. I used to run one cylinder to my stove and one to my heater, but now I bought myself a little 2-way valve that I can run a single cylinder to both of them and keep the second cylinder as a spare. So that's this here. So it's got the 2 taps here, one for this line and one for this line, and I run it off the one cylinder, and these lines come round and one comes into the stove and the other one comes under and into the heater, and then that way when this cylinder runs out, I've got my other cylinder here, which will be completely full as a spare. I use the refillable kind of cylinders. This one is a 2 kilo. They're both 2 kilos, I think. So they're not very big, they're quite small. I mean, you can see the size of my hand there. But I use the refillable ones for a couple of reasons. The first reason is because I don't like wasting things, you know. I try and be environmentally conscious where I can. I don't like to just throw away stuff, so I'd rather have a reusable cylinder. And the other reason is they're actually safer than the disposable ones. The stories that I've heard recently of people's cylinders exploding, they were all the refillable. They were all the non-refillable kind. The smaller aerosol. They look like a spray can, that type. Apparently, there's some issues with those, and they can explode. So that's why I use the refillable ones. Some other stuff that you've got to make sure that you have if you're going to use propane in an enclosed space like this is ventilation. So you've all seen my ventilation system before, and obviously I've got the rear ventilation as well. If you don't have something like that, then you'd have to keep a door open while you're doing it. Make sure you have a fire extinguisher. So I've got this fire extinguisher here. It's right next to the area where I use all the propane. I also have a second one, the same as this, mounted at the back of the vehicle. So it's on the inside in this back corner here. The reason I got two is I always like to have a backup in case one doesn't work. But also I've got one at either end of the van, so that if I'm at the back of the van and a fire breaks out at the front and I can't get to the fire extinguisher, then I've got a second one. So have a fire extinguisher if you're going to have fire. It's just kind of common sense, or a fire blanket or something. Also, make sure you have a carbon monoxide detector. So basically that'll just let you know if the carbon monoxide is building up inside the space, and regardless of whether I have a carbon monoxide detector or not, I always make sure that I run the ventilation. So run a fan or have a door open or something whenever you're using it. Something else that would be good to have, and people have brought it to my attention before but I don't have one yet, would be a gas detector. So something that's designed to detect the gas leaking, like unburnt gas. So it will actually detect the propane itself, because if your cylinder's leaking and you're asleep at night, you could be slowly engulfed in propane, which wouldn't be real fun. Something that I do, which is a little bit of a tip, when I use the propane, if I have finished with the stove, instead of turning it off here, see that one's cracked at the moment, instead of turning it off there, I turn it off down here on the actual cylinder itself. And what that does is it allows the rest of the gas that's in the line to flow through and burn off, and then once it's burnt off, then I can close this one, and that just means that I'm not relying on the stove's valve to keep the gas in. You know, I've got two valves shut off so that it's less likely to leak, so it has to get through this and through this, and now it actually has a third setting because it's got to get through this as well. So yeah, instead of just turning it off at the appliance itself, turn it off at the cylinder and let it burn off any excess, and then close both of them, and you've got a bit of a safer setup then. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to send in your pictures and your channel links, and we'll start to grow this community. And be safe with your propane. I'll speak to you next time.